Okay, history of black studies. 3 stages. First, black studies as a social movement coming out of the community. It was the battlefront of the black liberation movement. On this campus, we have the experience of what's called Project 500. Students rose up, the campus said, okay, we'll have more black students come on. So they said, well, how many do you want? And people looked around in the room, somebody yelled out 500. So it became Project 500. That's how it actually happened. But this is what they did. They brought students into the kind of dorm you're staying at, right? Now you bring in first-generation college students out of the inner city of Chicago, they're staying in a dorm like that, eating in a cafeteria like that, everybody's feeling good. Like you all. Then, 2 days before school was to start, they told the students, well, now you have to move out because the students are coming. And oh, by the way, we don't have enough room. So they put cots in the lounges, including in the student union. Some students said, I ain't moving out. They got to struggling and scuffling. They arrested a bunch of people. So the birth pains of the change had to do with the university essentially as a racist institution. And so we had to fight the university to create black studies. It's my fault. It's my fault.
I'll take a hug any day.
I'm willing to give a hug. Okay. So that's Black Studies as a social movement. Black Studies as academic profession. When we hit the campus, suddenly the terms of our existence changed. In other words, people had to meet the expectations of everybody else on the campus. Tenure track, publish or perish, et cetera, et cetera. Black Studies is academic profession. But now we face a new challenge. And that challenge is, based on information technology, we're looking at Black Studies as a knowledge network. It's a knowledge network. Now, to begin with, because of the history of Black Studies, we have been very sensitive to the need for a theoretical, even value-based orientation. We know that our community is facing the digital divide as a consequence of the social polarity that exists prior to the information revolution. So we're talking about here are 3 values. First value, cyber democracy. Everybody being connected. So that we, for example, would argue the support of public libraries. As someone said in a lecture on our campus, the library is a socialist institution. It serves a role that does not have to do with the immediate commodification of knowledge in relationship to the patrons of the library. And so even librarians have this social democratic tradition. That is exactly the point about Black Studies, is that we were trying to make it relevant to the community. We were trying to fight for open admissions. And this is fighting for everyone to be connected. Secondly, collective intelligence. If you think about the dream team concept, or the public intellectual concept, or the giving awards concept, we are structuring a what? A hierarchy that has a small group of people at the top and then trickle down through the mass media and whatever to the rest of us. That is exactly the opposite of the possibilities for knowledge creation today. Because today, it is possible for us to collectivize all of our ideas, all of the texts we create. See, up to now, things have been based on scarcity, right? Like, for instance, think about any budget you may have something to do with. Scarcity. Think about a book. Front cover, back cover, how many pages in the book? You got to negotiate with the publisher, or if you pick it up, you can't go to bed with a book that weighs, you know, I don't know about you, but I mean, these books on my chest, I'm trying to read at night. You know, I can't relate to that. So what we're talking about here is you have to limit how much you can have in a book. You have to exclude stuff. But now with the digital, we don't have to do that. We can include everything, everybody. And we can make sense of it. I'm not talking talk radio and everybody got a mic. I'm talking about we can actually make sense. We can discern patterns in the texts of everybody. This is a new moment. Now, the hard one is information freedom. Why? Because we've been turned into entrepreneurs. Our university is entrepreneurial. If you take a grant and you get a grant, you are awarded. It's wonderful. If you have a day job in the university, but you got a job hustling money from our community, you are successful. Okay. But let's take something like language. Imagine if language costs. How would it ever develop? Language is the best example we have of collective intelligence and collective wealth because it's collectively generated. Nobody makes language. We all do. And the same has to be true with information. So we're talking about a commons here. Now, of course, this is the new moment. Even if you're trying to make money, the new moment is you must give information to get. So, Google doesn't charge you, but Google's making all kind of money. It's a new business model. You give stuff away in order to create an environment in which you can make money. That has not happened in the African American community. Now, another thing is that digital records are different. Now, if you were selling shoes, I could sell you a pair of shoes, I wouldn't have the shoes. You got the shoes now, I just got some money. I can go buy some other shoes. But if I give you a digital record, I can keep it. I give it to you, but I still got it. I give it to everybody. That's different. And so software starts out $179. A short time later, it's $29.95. And a short time after that, it comes with the machine. That's how fast. Why? Because you all are sharing it and you're not paying for it. They can't stop that. The new economy is bursting out of this containment of the old economy. So we have now the need for, what did she call it last night? Disruptive science. That's what we got to bring to this, right? Why? Because it is a disruptive experience, is what we're talking about here. So, okay, cyber democracy, collective intelligence, and information freedom. And by the way, what this says is not you have to be a purist and just say, give yourself over to the people, although that would be a very hip thing to do. We're talking about relative. So the question is, what do you post on a website that everybody can get to, even if you have a CD you're selling? So how much are you sharing? That's the point. I'm not just trying to be a total ideologue here. I'm trying to say that our community out of which we come, right, requires respect, and that respect means that we have to give back to the community, and what we can give back to the community is not a bag of groceries at Thanksgiving or Christmas, although somebody can eat, that'd be good. It's what we do as digital scholars that's really important for us.